Now turning to the films scheduled for release in 2023, this list comes to us from Time Magazine. First up, we've got Magic Mike's Last Dance. This is the third Magic Mike film starring Channing Tatum. I have not seen the other Magic Mike films. I was not aware that it was a saga. That's scheduled for release February 10th. On February 17th, we've got Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. This is the third Ant-Man film starring Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, Michael Douglas, and Michelle Pfeiffer. At this point, Marvel has just created an entire industry unto itself. These films are really becoming intertwined with the Disney Plus series. According to the trailer, this film will feature the character of Kang, who first appeared in the Loki series. So you're probably going to have to watch Loki if you want to know who that is and what's going on. On March 3rd, we've got Creed 3. This is the third film in the Creed series, which was a spinoff of the Rocky saga. This stars and is directed by Michael B. Jordan and does not feature Sylvester Stallone, who hasn't really been quiet on his opinions on the matter. If you've been following the media late last year, Stallone was doing a lot of press for his current project, Tulsa King, where he expressed his feelings on the subject. On March 10th, we've got Scream 6. I don't even know what to say about the Scream series at this point. I've only seen the first one, and I thought it was good at the time. Not sure if it holds up. The original Scream came out in 1996, 27 years ago. This series is ready for its 10-year high school reunion at this point, proving Hollywood never lets a horror IP die. DC/Warner Brothers' first superhero offering of the year will be the sequel to Shazam, Shazam: Fury of the Gods. The first Shazam was cute. It was kind of a throwback. It was very fun. DC/Warner Brothers/Discovery was in the news quite a bit last year. Lots of restructuring was happening there. As part of the shakeup, this film was originally slated to be released last year, but got pushed back to March 17th. So you can ring in St. Paddy's Day with this one. Shazam: Fury of the Gods is directed by David F. Sandberg. He's an interesting guy, and he's got a great YouTube channel called Pony Smasher. He does a lot of behind-the-scenes videos there and has a bunch of cool horror shorts. Highly recommend the channel. Next up, we've got John Wick Chapter 4 on March 24th, starring the great Keanu Reeves, Lawrence Fishburne, and Donnie Yen. I really like the first John Wick, but I've found the sequels to kind of be diminishing returns. This film looks like it's going to feature more of the high table stuff, and of course, tons of action. April 21st, we've got Evil Dead Rise, another in the Evil Dead saga. The original Evil Dead came out in 1981 and has never really stopped. It's been remade, rebooted, made into a series. I liked Evil Dead 2 when I saw it years ago, but I haven't really kept up with the series. Are you an Evil Dead fan? Are you looking forward to this one? Let me know. Moving on to this summer, which is packed with potential blockbusters, we've got two Marvel offerings in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and The Marvels. The Marvels will feature the character Miss Marvel, who had her own series on Disney Plus as well. These films will probably make $1 billion each. Disney also has their live-action remake of The Little Mermaid. Disney will only stop making these things when they stop printing money. One film in the superhero genre I'm looking forward to is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This is another film that was supposed to come out last year but got pushed back. The original was great. I think it's probably the best Spider-Man film, and I would consider it to be one of the best comic book films ever made. But can this new one top the original, or at least be as good? We shall see. Also this summer, we've got Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. What can I say? It's another Transformers movie. They're just going to keep making these things. Then we've got Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Harrison Ford reprises his role as Indiana Jones. I think it's really interesting that this one got made. Do we need another Indiana Jones film? I know a lot of people were disappointed in Crystal Skull. I couldn't even watch that one. I think the series peaked back with Last Crusade. I love those films from when I was young, but I really don't have any desire to see an 80-year-old digitally de-aged Harrison Ford running around. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Maybe it'll be great. Are you excited for Old Man Indy? Let me know. Then we've got another entry into the Mission Impossible franchise, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. Now, these films are really interesting to me. They're based on a series from the 60s that no one really cared about when they made the first film back in the 90s. It's amazing how successful they've been. Tom Cruise has almost single-handedly made this one of the most successful action franchises around. And he's done it basically by risking his life doing all these crazy stunts. So I'm kind of curious to see what he might hang off of or jump off of next. It's also intriguing because of the part 1 in the title. This is the first Mission Impossible to have a part 1. So I predict there will be some sort of, pardon the pun, cliffhanger ending. All right, so that's the summer. Then in the fall, we've got an untitled Exorcist film. Again, horror IP is immortal in Hollywood. I can't even remember the last time there was an Exorcist movie. I think it was probably 20 years ago at this point. Then we've got another film I'm looking forward to, Dune Part 2. And that looks promising. Denis Villeneuve did a great job with the first Dune film. I'd like to see if he can stick the landing on this one. You can catch our review of Dune Part 1 on episode 1012 of the show, and Mary Beth Thuison's review is on the website. Then we've got 2 prequels, the Hunger Games Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes in November, and Wonka, a prequel to the Willy Wonka story in December. Then we've got the musical of The Color Purple, based on the Broadway show. Then for Christmas, we're getting the sequel to Aquaman, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, another DC film. The first one made a ton of money. Let's see if this one does as well. There's also speculation that we might get a Legally Blonde 3 this year. I guess this would be a legacy sequel since the first Legally Blonde came out in 2001, more than 20 years ago. Not sure what they're going to do with the franchise at this point, but if you're a Legally Blonde fan, you're in luck. I wanted to read this list because this is where we are right now. This is the state of cinema. It's a relentless list of sequels, prequels, and remakes and franchise films. How do you feel about this? One thing I can say is that we are part of this system as well. As audience members, we are paying for this stuff. And Hollywood will keep making these types of movies as long as we keep paying to go see them. Now, there are some other promising films coming out as well. Oppenheimer by Christopher Nolan, that's scheduled to come out on July 21st. And then Greta Gerwig has made a film of Barbie with Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling. Now, I don't know how you make a Barbie movie, but she made Lady Bird and Little Women, and those are both good. So, let's see if she can pull off the hat trick. Of course, all these dates are subject to change, and I imagine some of these films may get carried over to next year.